Hello. Clear my throat. I guess I should do that before I start recording. Here I am at MyHeritage. I opened another account here. This will be my second account. I ordered their DNA thing, and on Black Friday it was $39. Of course, that did not include all the extras. So it's just whatever the DNA kit is. I think that's over now. But perhaps for Christmas they'll have more sales. I went to Ancestry.com and they were offering it for $49. And then I clicked on that. I actually saw an ad on YouTube and clicked on the ad. And when I went to actually buy it, it said, "Oh, sorry, we're not offering it for $49 anymore. We're offering it for $59 now." So I thought to myself, forget it. And then I thought, well, I can go to other genealogy websites. So I went to MyHeritage and I opened a second one with a new email. And I ordered it for $39 bonus. And I saw something on television. They had some kind of news. It was a national news site back a few weeks ago. And they had a report where they did MyHeritage, Ancestry.com, and some other genealogical websites, family history websites, and said that they all did these twins. And actually, I think they were older women who were triplets, I'd say in their 30s maybe. And each different company's DNA kit said pretty much the same thing. So they all do the very same thing. Now, I don't know about all the extras. There are some things that you can pay for in a DNA test that are extra things, but it appeared that everything was pretty much the same. So I went with the cheapest one available at the time. I don't think they had anything cheaper anywhere else, but if they did, I guess I missed out. So in the future, I'll be doing videos on my Researching Your Roots YouTube channel about MyHeritage DNA test. And I don't know, I may actually put my face on this one. If you look at my videos from Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and Pigeon Forge and the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, you'll see me. I'm the big fat guy with glasses. My wife is the very attractive, beautiful woman with the curly brown hair and glasses. And then the smaller lady that's in some of the videos is my mother-in-law. That's my wife's mother. So if you want to see what we look like, go ahead. I'm not much to look at. The lady's very beautiful, very attractive. I enjoy looking at my wife, no problem. So this is the MyHeritage website. I'm going to do research today. This is their home page here. And it's got the ads, even though I've got it blocked up here. Some of the ads are popping up. That's okay. So I can either search all records here on MyHeritage Family History Genealogical Researching website. I can go to the collection catalog, birth, marriage, and death records specifically by clicking on that option. Census records only. Family trees, I would imagine those are family trees that have been downloaded or typed in to MyHeritage. Newspapers, I'm not sure what that is. Immigration records. Hire a researcher. You can always hire me. I'd probably be much less expensive to hire than one of their researchers. Now, it could be their researchers may be better in some things than I am. I don't know. I'm very good at researching the United States of America between 1850 and the present, which would be the 1940 census, and the records that are available on genealogical websites and the internet. Believe it or not, there are many places, many sources that have online searching capabilities on their websites, court records for different counties and parishes in the United States, where you can, for free, go to their court records and look at those. Those are many times civil records, talk about marriage, divorce, things like that. Then they also have criminal records. You can find living people that way. A lot of counties and parishes have websites you go to look up the property tax records so that you can find out where somebody's living presently. Not all counties do that. And then there are some counties and parishes, and I say parish because Louisiana doesn't have counties, in case you didn't know that. They use parishes just like they did in England and other countries in Europe that were predominantly religious areas that were, instead of them breaking it into civil counties like in the United States and some parts of Europe, some division or borders in areas of countries were called parishes because they basically followed the church boundaries for different congregations, I guess. And in Louisiana, it was primarily Catholic there, with the French, the Spanish. Basically, when those people from those two countries were here in the United States, and it wasn't called the United States then, France, Spain, as well as the British colonies claimed territory in Louisiana. Eventually, I believe it was President Thomas Jefferson who purchased it from France. But I'm not 100% sure on that history there. So they call it parishes, and they've left it that way even to the present day. Recently was in Louisiana to see my family in Baton Rouge, and they still call it parish. East Baton Rouge Parish is where they live. So these are the options that you can choose from for researching in MyHeritage. Search all records is usually what I like to do, but every once in a while, if I'm trying to find a record like a census record, I don't want to go through everything. I may click on census records. But I charge $10 an hour to research your family tree, or you can hire me for a $50 retainer. And in 48 hours, I will come up with as much family history as I can. If I can't come up with enough, hardly anything, say I don't come up with at least 3 or 4 generations, I'll just give you your $50 back. And you can go hire somebody else who's better than me. Because I'm not going to say I'm the best family historian or genealogist. So some people's ancestors are more difficult to find. For example, I have a friend at church. She's descended from the Croatian ancestry, and very difficult to find information there because Croatia many times hasn't been Croatia. They would be other countries like Hungary, for example. And so that particular area of geography has changed hands between countries off and on over over 1,000 years. Many times it was called Croatia, and other times it wasn't. So right now they're having difficulty finding anything online. They've actually sent people to what was Croatia, and they've looked for records there, and evidently the church records that they search for there don't reveal anything about their ancestors. So my wife and I are both genealogists, and we couldn't find anything more than what they themselves had found and the people they hired in Europe to help them. So some people are able to find things for people, others they're not able to. I'm not an expert in European Croatian family history, so and even the experts were having difficulty finding information for their family because of the change in governments and the change in geographical boundaries and borders and things, and they're not really sure where the records went, if there are any. So it's pretty sad. China's the same way. There are periods of time in China where the records were destroyed, and if there are any records left from those time periods, I don't know where they are. So it's going to be divine intervention to help us get those, and I hope that happens because we really could use it. I know a lot of people from China, or I've known many people from China. Presently, I don't know anybody where I'm living, but a lot of them have passed their genealogies down orally from their ancestors, and they've written it down and hidden it so it wouldn't be destroyed in the past. The cultural cleansing and things like that happened in Asia during the 1940s to the 1970s and 80s even. With the Cambodians and with the Laotians and Vietnam and China, and many of those countries there went through a lot of cultural, cleansings where they wanted to completely erase the past and start over and things like that. But, I'm not sure why they would do such a thing. Okay, so this is MyHeritage, and I've been blabbing about researching and about hiring researchers and stuff like that. So I'm going to go to search all records. And this looks very much like Ancestry.com, Family Search, and other family history databases where you just put in the information. I call these windows. And you type in information, and right above it, it tells you what to put in, and it's not very difficult. Shouldn't be afraid to give it a try. Then there's an advanced search, more options. So you go back to that. Name, your birthplace of birth or residence. Keywords, I'm not sure what I would put in there, but they have some examples here. Maybe a carpenter, if you're looking for a man back that was a carpenter or came over on this particular ship. There are also women who are carpenters. I'm not sure how many of those would be on a census through the 1940 census, but in the future, after the 1940s, there'll be more and more women in careers, and so I'm not sure what the censuses look like from 1950 on to the present. I believe we took the last census in 2010, and we're about to take one next year in the United States of America. So I'm not sure if they put women's occupations. I've actually seen some women on censuses, like in the 1900s, 1900 through 1940, where they put their occupations down. That may help you find men and women, even teenagers, probably primarily in censuses or special company records that may be found on these genealogy websites. I have seen railroad records that often listed a lot of information about employees that were working for the railroad and their spouses and children and families. I think more than anything, the railroad records kind of let you know where people were living at the time, because a lot of times these folks were moving a lot with their jobs working for the railroad, so they would take their families to different places, and they may not have always been on the census because they might not have been in a place where the census people got to it easily, or they may have left before the census people came to take records, but at least in the railroad records, it would tell you where a person was with their family. They had one with his or her family. So this is pretty easy. Somebody liked one of my comments. Goodbye. I can't get to you right now, but I will. Lots of other YouTube channels that I'm subscribed to, that many of them are subscribed to me at Researching Your Roots. If you'd like to subscribe to me, please like my videos, give them a thumbs up, and subscribe. I'm thinking, yes, this is very much like Ancestry.com, where they have a picture of the globe. And it looks like Iceland here doesn't have records necessarily. Iceland? There's Europe. I'm not sure what that is. Is that Green? No, maybe this is Greenland and this is Iceland. I don't know what this is up here. I thought it was Iceland or Greenland. Maybe that's Greenland. But here's Europe, and you got Asia, and a lot of these Islamic countries where they speak Arabic or similar languages are found in Asia. A lot of these islands here are primarily Muslims. And then you have Oceania. What? I believe that's Australia, folks. I think this is New Zealand down here. That's Madagascar, Africa. South America. This is South America. And then we have Central America and Mexico, United States, which Alaska is a part of. And I don't see Hawaii out here. Canada. I think this is Newfoundland or Nova Scotia or something right here. Wonder what this is. Asia. That's easy. Oceania. I'm a little shocked that they would put that there. I mean, do they really refer to that? I thought that was the Australian continent. So they call that Oceania now? Wow, I was unaware of that. Okay, I'm an old man. Okay, so here's your basic search database. Then we have an advanced search, genders added, different kinds of events. So it's pretty much like any of the other ones. This is nice. You can put relatives. A lot of times on census records, you'll have relatives living in the house of the head of the house, whoever that might be, who are not actually from the marriage and aren't the children. They might be a parent of one of the spouses. It might be a grandparent of the children. Could be an aunt, uncle, cousin. A lot of times it puts them down as a boarder, B-O-A-R-D-E-R, a boarder. They were staying in the head of the house's house or wherever they lived, and they were paying to live there. Well, a lot of times those boarders are actual relatives, believe it or not. Not sure why they list themselves as boarders. Not sure about that. So when you see a boarder that's there, and has a similar name, or check it out and see in the census records before and after to see if that's a relative. It's a way to find out parents and maiden names for women, things like that. Well, let's see what this looks like if we enter something. I'm going to go back to the regular search. It's easier to look at. Let's see, who can we look for? I'll just use my great-great-great-grandfather again and see what pops up so you can see what it looks like. He was born in 1833, I think, in Georgia, United States, not Georgia, the country. And then, so you can always put that, you can put United States, so they don't look in the country. So there's William Shipp. I don't know who that one is. That's not mine. My William Shipp died in 1913. There was no Joseph Shipp in his family. Okay, I'm not sure why the information is not available. This is a new account of mine. but it's not showing me all the information. This happens to be my relative right here. I'm not sure what's going on. It says that I haven't paid. Well, I have a free account somewhere, but not under this email. So, but I know that's my relative because Elise Ship is his daughter. Hardin C. Ship was a brother. I think Hardin may have been actually older than Will. Charles I. Wolfe. Charles I. Wolfe was a relative to William C. Ship by marriage. His mother remarried for the third time. Was it the third time? Well, she remarried. Maybe it was the second time. But she married a man named, what was his name? I don't remember, but his last name was Wolfe. And this was the child they had together, and this child died very young. Charles I. Wolfe. This is also my relative here. This is actually from a family search family tree. And he was born actually in 1833, died in 1913. His daughter Faye married a man named Robert Burbage. Hardin C. Ship was his brother. This William Ship looks like he was born between 1890 and 1979, so that's not my relative that I know of. So this is what it looks like. It gives you this type of view when you open it. And then you can just click on one of these. And if you actually have an account you're paying for, or if you have a way of getting a free account, which I do through my church, tithing, you just click on here, and all these other places that are actually blue right now would be available to you. But they're not available to me on this particular account because I opened this account, put in a new email, and opened a new account to buy my DNA test through MyHeritage because for Black Friday they had a sale of $39, and I think it was usually $79 or something like that, which isn't too bad. It's cheaper than Ancestry.com, and MyHeritage in the basic DNA test that Ancestry also does, it's cheaper all the time, and it gives you the exact same information. There is no difference in the basics. So that's what it looks like, MyHeritage. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up. Also, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and let people know about my Research in Your Roots YouTube channel.